5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the hottest sounds in the mix. In the mix.
It's time to turn the lights down and crank the music up. Let's get this Sunday night party started.
Attention.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
All systems are go.
Check this out.
It's
Party time!
Welcome to the show.
We got a great show tonight.
It's showtime.
Okay, let's party.
Come on, baby.
Let this boogie.
Y'all ready?
Let's go nuts.
All right.
It's about time we rock it.
Here we go.
Now, without further ado,
Here comes tonight's entertainment.
Welcome to the biggest show on earth. Hurry, ladies and gentlemen and children. I'm your ringmaster, and I promise you the greatest time of your life. Thrills galore, the strangest freaks, the highest acrobats, and the funniest clowns.
Prepare for stimulation.
here comes the music.
Nosotros somos los Felas y están escuchando Picante Time con DJ Eric en la mezcla y DJ Cruz solamente en InTheMixRadio.com. Los Felas.
Los Felas, Cano, Picante Time, InTheMixRadio.com, DJ Eric, DJ Cruz, Los Felas. Vamos a pasarnos de la raya, Picante Time no falla, lo escucho donde vaya, DJ Eric, DJ Cruz no fallan, un domingo en locura, pégate a la aventura, todo cambiará cuando termine el día, de cosas que tú no sabías. Radio.com, lo mejor en Picante Time. DJ Cruz y DJ Eric, el mejor show de la radio para gozarte los domingos. InTheMixRadio.com, Picante Time, Los Felas, DH, Cano, todos los domingos a las 8:30 en InTheMixRadio.com. DJ Eric, DJ Cruz, Los Felas.
How you doing? This is Big Tom. I'm at Dunkin' Donuts right now. I'd rather be at Picante Time with the three Mahoneys, the Sissy Mary Eric, the Pharaoh of the Fat Broads, the Fag Patrick Shannon. We love them all, the little fags. You all have a nice night now and enjoy the show. See you next week. Bye-bye now.
In the mix worldwide.
The little fags.
Y ahora para el artista merenguero de la semana, Amarfis.
Claro, tonto.
Mañana hay mucho besito, le llevo a bailar a la discoteca, le doy mucho ron y también cerveza. Yo te doy mi amor, yo te doy cariño, yo te doy mi amor, pero mi dinero, eso sí que no. Michelito no. Pero mi dinero, eso sí que no. Todo te lo he dado. Te arreglas el pelo, compras mucha ropa y llega a la casa con poquita cosa. Te vas planchadita y bien arreglada y llega a la casa toda estrujada. Yo te doy cariño, yo te doy mi amor. Yo te doy cariño, yo te doy mi amor. Todo lo que tú quieras. Pero mi dinero, eso sí que no. Eso no. Mi dinero, eso sí que no. ¡Mambo! carteras y muy lindas joyas. Y hasta mi bolsillo lo dejaste en olla. De tu interés ya me convencí. Solo por dinero estás junto a mí. Malvada.
Y el artista bachatero de la semana, Lynx.
This is Lynx. Let's do this.
Yo detesto las mentiras que tú me decías. Me despegaré de este mundo lejos de tu vida. He sido lo mejor que pude ser para ti, malagradecida. Dime cuándo dejarás de decirme tantas mentiras. Tú y yo no tenemos más nada. Nuestro amor se murió y voló con tus palabras. Máscara, eso es lo que veo cada vez que me besas y dices te quiero. Tú y yo, un dúo complicado. Sentí tu amor quemando como ácido. Máscara, eso es lo que veo cada vez que me besas y dices te quiero. Rebelde, falsa profeta, repugnante y egoísta. Cada vez que tú me abrazabas, me ensuciabas la camisa. Rebelde, falsa profeta, repugnante y egoísta. Cada vez que tú me abrazabas, me ensuciabas la camisa. Ya que amé, hoy día te odio. Tú eres la viva imagen del diablo. Y espero que Diosito te perdone, porque yo no lo haré. Lárgate con tu equipaje y te juro que voy a olvidarte. Lástima me das. Mejor sigue tu camino. Lynx, Lynx, and the king. La melody, la melody. Con el tiempo vi la persona detrás de la máscara. Y me di cuenta que yo me enamoré de la persona errada. Ay, mujer, a tu amor le daré su propio entierro. Por tu bien déjame en paz y vete al infierno. No, no, tú y yo no tenemos más nada. Nuestro amor se murió y voló con tus palabras. Máscara, eso es lo que veo cada vez que me besas y dices te quiero. Tú y yo, un dúo complicado. Sentí tu amor quemando como ácido. Máscara, eso es lo que veo cada vez que me besas y dices te quiero. Lárgate
Y la artista salsero de la semana, Manny Mieles, Simplemente Amigos.
Simplemente amigos y nada más.
Bueno, welcome to In the Mix Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Yo me llamo DJ Eric en la mezcla y esto es Picante Time, mejor conocido como el vacilón de la noche. And ladies and gentlemen, get ready as I get ready to pan out of here. Get your shades ready. Get your suntan lotion because the sun is beaming hot here in the studio. One of the co-hosts is here, ladies and gentlemen. The one that shines the most, the one that actually happens to, blind a lot of us. He is the notorious one, otherwise known as PAT, Patrick, Patman. Wait a minute. Patrick, Patman Shannon.
Miss American, all the ships at sea. It is an immense pleasure to be here once again on In the Mix Radio at Picante Time with your host, DJ Eric and La Mezcla. Roman
S.
The funny Latino, and tu maldito gringo, Patrick Shannon.
Yes. Dilo otra vez.
With love.
From the Bronx with love.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is an immense... there you go. Some sound shitty.
Yeah, because you're
it's an immense pleasure to introduce...
Grammy winner.
No.
Oh.
The new... wow, you shithead.
Listen,
the newest
Fruity.
member of the panel. The newest. My brother co-host over here.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen.
El hombre del moño. El hombre del bigotito.
Well, my Spanish isn't too good. El hombre mojón. Ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your screen. Don't adjust your camera. We'd like to introduce the funny Latino, Mr. Roman S.
What's going on, everybody? From the Bronx with love, this is Roman S, the funny Latino. At Funny Latino on Twitter, the Funny Latino on Instagram, and Funny Latino on YouTube.
There you go. And well, you know,
it's a walking commercial, for Christ's sake. I need to hang out with him so I can go, hey, dude, I'm Pat Shannon, tu maldito gringo on Instagram, and tu maldito gringo on Twitter.
And also, you know, he forgot to say Chacho, bro.
Chacho, bro.
There you go.
Okay. Well, we also have our special guest for this evening.
I'm ecstatic.
Are
I'm
you?
very excited.
Very, very
As a
excited.
musician, this is big. Very big.
Yes.
Very big.
Grammy winner.
Chacho, bro.
Eddie Montalvo.
Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
Hey.
I'd like to touch it.
Hey.
Maybe rub it and kiss it.
Oh, my God. Ten cuidado que
Your
he
Grammy,
may go
of
for
course.
the helmet head. I don't know, bro.
Up. Maritza Sanchez is already complaining. The mics are on. The music is louder. Are the mics on? The music is louder. How are we now, Maritza?
I don't know.
Shout out to Maritza Sanchez in the chat.
She's got to adjust her volume on her speakers then. Because we're nice and loud in here in the studio.
Yeah, we're good up here. But yeah, we'd like to welcome our special guest.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Mr. Eddie Montalvo.
So, yes, Eddie, how are you this evening?
Thank you.
Well,
first of all, thank you guys for
got to bring in the
inviting
mic.
me to the show.
There you go.
I want to thank all of you guys for this is really a surprise for me because I received this call from you a couple of days ago and I was like, what? You know, but thank you guys once again and everyone who's listening to the show. Hope you're having a good time.
Now, we say who?
My father said the
Oh,
sound
okay.
sucks too.
Really?
Maybe it's your computer, because I know my father has a shitty old computer. So maybe Maritza Sanchez and my father have the same old pieces of shit computer.
Does it say IBM on your screen? IBM? Does it say IBM on your screen?
Wow.
And then Maritza agrees. See? Maybe my father's just old and deaf, Maritza.
Yeah, because understand that Patrick's also old and deaf.
Yeah, I'm definitely old and I'm definitely deaf.
Yeah, so no,
Huh?
don't get it twisted.
What?
What?
Huh?
You son of a bitch. All right, so now Eddie, you're pretty much a little tired because you came in from where?
Baltimore.
And at what time did you get in from Baltimore?
2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
To be here on Picante Time this lovely evening. Look at that. So now, for those of you that don't know who Eddie Montalvo is, Eddie Montalvo's been in the business as long as probably I've been born.
Really? That's how you want to say it?
I believe so.
Let's just say he's a pioneer of the business.
Yeah,
but that's what I was gonna.
Yeah,
no. I didn't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a good way because I mean that's where all the good salsa was at that time frame when I wasn't even born yet. Well, no, wait a minute. When I was born, right?
Make up your mind.
What say that?
Make up your mind.
I am Eddie. Been in for a little bit of a long time. I got this camera right in my face. I can't see you. But it's it's where all the good salsa came out of in that time frame in the 70s, no?
That is correct.
All right, now you're from Fania, and you've gotten a chance to perform alongside with many of the greats such as go ahead, give the list for those that don't know who Eddie Montalvo is, for crying out loud.
When I joined Fania All-Star in 1979, you had about, honestly, you had about 12 singers. I mean, you had everybody. Hector Lavoe, Cheo Feliciano, Picante, Santos Colon, Luigi Texidor, Celia Cruz. We could go on and go on. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just put
there,
this closer.
there you go.
Maybe you can hear me now better. Well, it was about 12 singers, and of course, a lot of them have departed now. So we're down to about 3 of the original singers.
Right.
But, Fania keeps going, and they're picking up new artists. So we're having a concert coming up anyway in August 24th at Summer Stage. And there will be a lot of new artists joining the group.
Now, the Summer Stage is going to be held where?
Central Park.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
And that's going to be when again?
August 24th.
August 24th.
I am available.
I'm there.
Okay.
I'll be selling water.
I'm available to do some quartos. I'm available.
That's right.
I work.
You tell me you're a good quarter player, Shannon.
I'm a good who?
Corista.
Oh, I thought you said conga play. I'm like, no, you got you got the wrong Pat Shannon, big guy. Thank you, sir.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, since you're saying that they're bringing on new singers into Fania, right?
Well, yeah, they got a couple of, which I'm not, they told me the names. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave it, at that. But
you're not too happy on.
No. Everybody deserves a break. I mean, listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I came in there as a young guy. I think I was about 27 years old when I joined Fania.
About my age.
And, right. And, it's a stepping stone, We reached the top. We got to come down, and you got to give the new talent the break. So I think everybody deserves a break. I mean, we've paid our dues, and I always considered Fania All Stars like the Motown, And being honest with you, it was like the Motown,
Now,
it was the foundation,
Now, here's the thing: do you agree with? Because I really don't. I'll be the honest to tell you. I don't agree with any new singers joining in Fania and it still being called Fania. There should be another name for it, because Fania it was magical.
Right.
It continues being magical. Keep the history the way it is, and instead of it's like, let's say the Beatles, for instance.
Right.
You change all of the band members, including McCarthy. All right. And then you put in, let's say, this is only an example. You put in a Pat Shannon, a Roman S., a DJ Eric into it, and it's not the Beatles. It no longer really becomes the Beatles. It turns into something different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead, Pat.
Well, again, this is just one man's opinion. If the lead, unfortunately, music is the lead singer. You know what I mean?
Right.
That is correct.
Eddie, you know what I mean? Like,
that is correct.
If Hector Lavoe is still alive, he could be Fania until the day he dies because he's one of the original recording voices.
Because, it's funny you mentioned that because when he rests with the Lord, he died 20 years ago, and there's still Hector roaming around like if he's still alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
He's to me, he's the Elvis of Spanish music.
Yeah.
Like, Elvis Presley sold more records since 1977 than he's been dead longer than he's been alive. And he's still selling stupid amounts of money. Because, I mean, last night I was watching some show. I like all types of music. I mean, I grew up on rock and roll, heavy metal. I was a white guy. And
were a white guy? You were
I
a
were
white
a
guy.
white guy.
Okay.
Now, tú sabes que yo soy latino, papá.
De corazón.
Sí, señor. De alma, de corazón.
I like that.
Yo soy banilejo dominicano ya, tú sabes. Anyway, last night I was watching some show and they had the Guns N' Roses. Now the whole band was different except the singer, and people were going hog wild. And I was like, but that's not Guns N' Roses. But I will be honest, the band was like drug free. They were much better, and but it was the singer. Right. So I mean, you know what I mean? If Ruben Blades came back to do a Fania reunion and he was the singer, the shit would be out of this world.
It's funny because we did ASCAP, and now that you said with Ruben, and Ruben was there, and it was a great great event, and to see Ruben back. But it's like with all the respect, Ruben's very busy doing a lot of things. I toured with Ruben for a long time. I'm from the original group, and it was really an honor playing with Ruben. I mean, the respect and his logic of what he writes. He's like a poet.
Can I ask a quick question?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm honestly very honored to be sitting next to you, and I mean that.
thank
Sin
you.
lambonería. All right. in your, I guess, in your opinion, who happens to be? Because I can't say was, because it will forever be. Who happens to be the most important artist in Fania?
Well,
that's a good question.
That is a good
Well,
question.
to be honest with you, we all look up, and I'm being honest, all of us look up at Johnny Pacheco.
Nice. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Very beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. Thank you.
I have to say again, I had the pleasure of meeting him honestly, and I was digging at the Copa at my merengue orchestra. I got a picture of him, El Canario, Luis Damon, and myself, and it's one of my most. I mean, the dude was just. It was like meeting Quincy Jones. I was like, wow, man, dig this.
Now, vocally, I know he's the founder. He's responsible for about 90% of the hits of Fania, but vocally, cantante-wise.
Well, Shannon said it at the corner with the name he mentioned before, which was Hector.
Hector Lavoe. Okay. Está bien. Estamos.
Not taken away from anyone else, and I hope whoever's listening doesn't get offended. But
Ismael,
it's
no
the
te-
truth.
no te-
I mean,
no te-
I
no
mean,
te
'cause,
ofenda.
we did a lot of good things. I mean, we had Ismael Rivera in the group at one time. We had Cheo. Great. They were all great guys. But the guy that I really say that is still alive, roaming around spiritually, in everybody's jukebox and everybody's radios is Hector.
El cantante
There's
de
no
los
way.
cantantes,
There's no
yeah.
way you
Now-
can.
You go to Peru, they got monuments,
Posters, monuments.
Really?
Yeah,
In Peru?
statues.
Yeah, first is God and then it's Hector.
That's
Wow.
Wow. Did you
and
see
I'm being
any
honest.
any burritos? Like a monument of a burrito? That's the Pat Shannon monument. Of a burrito. But now, I actually had a question.
Just a question?
Yeah. But like with the Hector. How did you feel about? Now you don't have to answer this. I know How did you feel with the Mark Anthony recordings of the Hector stuff? Now I'll be honest, sound-wise, technology-wise, man, when you play it through the DJ stuff, it's got a more modern sound. It's
got a
thicker, it's
boom.
fatter.
Yeah.
But, and Mark Anthony is the bomb. He is the man.
Mhm.
And I'm a huge fan from the day I saw him in '92 at Studio 84. Anyway, there was Hector wasn't the greatest singer in the world. Like Mark Anthony vocally blows Hector away. Like vocally in terms of,
Range.
But there was this emotion that Hector had that I haven't felt. Like when the man opens it, you feel it. I feel it.
Es algo
Like, there's a
único. It's
Yeah,
unique.
there's
Well,
some-
Hector wasn't mechanical. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's
Yeah.
some singers, with all the respect, that are mechanical. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, please, again, I'm not trying to offend anyone,
Right.
But I tell you, because I played with Hector for 6 years, in the good times and in the bad times.
Right.
And Hector would go to a gig, and I'm gonna put it straight up. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. If he was ripped, forget about it. You had to hit him with a bat to get him off stage. You know what I'm
to
saying?
get him off stage.
Yeah, because he loved to sing, and he was a great guy. That I could tell you, man. There was no egos. He ain't need no bodyguards. Hector was Hector. Hector was just a normal guy, But the stardom of that. What can I say?
Now I have a question that I've been wanting to ask you live here on the show. Give us a story that stands out in your mind of your time with Hector?
Well, there was a time we were gonna get killed in Colombia.
Only one time?
You know what I'm saying?
But why is that?
Well, I'll tell you the story straight up. We went to play for someone with a big name, and I won't mention his name. And when we got up there, to perform, we got up there, and there was 2 tables with a couple sitting on one side and a couple sitting on the other side. A total of 4 people plus his invited guests. So we get up there, and first of all, it was all the way up on the mountain, and the bus couldn't go anymore, so we had to get out and walk up with the instruments up this mountain. And when we finally get up to the top, Hector says, "Hey man, ain't nobody here," in Spanish. And
Es que nadie está aquí.
No, sí, ¿cuándo vamos a empezar? And the man says to him, "Vamos a empezar cuando ustedes
estén listos
y afinen los instrumentos."
Okay.
So Hector says to him in Spanish again, "But there ain't nobody here." And the man turns around and says, "The people that were supposed to be here are here."
Right.
So the man says to him, you gotta play till 6 o'clock in the morning." And Hector says to him, "Your mama's gonna play till 6 because I'm only playing till 2. And he says, "What did you say?" He says, "You know what? I just told you your mama's gonna play till 6 a.m. because I'm only playing for 2. Well, we played till 2 o'clock in the morning. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Hector goes like this. He goes, and we're looking at him like, "Yo, you crazy." Sure enough, they put us all up in a room, and we, the rest is history. We had escaped through a window. I mean, it was crazy, man. I know you guys heard the story.
I've heard the story before. I have.
It's in books.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You remember the roadie Chegui? Papi
Yeah,
Chegui?
of course.
I worked with Papi Chegui, and he told me
Get
this
outta
very
here.
same story. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. Hilarious story, bro.
Scary, man. Where you said, "My God, I'm never gonna see home again."
Yeah, bro. Colombia's very terrifying.
and I love to go up there because we always played up there. I mean,
Wow. But I mean, now, here's another thing. Who's the one that you would say, de cantantes, you had a real great experience recording with?
Wow, that's a heavy question. you know why it's heavy? Honestly,
Because you've been
Eric. You know why it's heavy? Because with all the respect, in the 70s, this is the truth. We never left the studios. We would record 5 days a week. You didn't even know who you were recording with. That's how heavy.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's how intense the music industry really was. I remember coming out of work because I used to have a day job. Coming out of work and going back downtown to record, getting out at 2 o'clock in the morning and at 7 o'clock in the morning back at my job. So it was like you had no life, but that's the life you chose.
Right, right.
But my God, I mean, I recorded with everybody. I mean, I know you're not asking me who I recorded with, but I remember Pete Conde, and that was another great guy. That
But
was
the
also
one that stands out the most, that you say, wow, coño, que yo me recuerdo el momento con que yo grabé.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Ruben.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
That's
with you,
fair.
Ruben,
That's fair.
Ruben, because I remember 1978 recording with Willie Colon and Ruben, and we recorded Pedro Navaja.
Okay.
And that was a song that was not supposed to go on the album because the late Jerry Masucci, who was the president of Fania, told Ruben, he says, "You're crazy." He says, "That song is too long." "Well, you crazy? You're going to record that?" And Ruben said, "That's what I want to record." And that thing became like
a hit.
I think that album sold the most in the music market of the Latinos.
Right, right. And probably still does with just that one track.
Yeah.
Can I add a quote?
Sure.
The late, great Gabriel Garcia Marquez
Oh, yeah. That
had
was
said, had he penned the story of Pedro Navaja, he would have been happy with what he has written, because that story within itself was as great as anything he had written throughout his entire life. So that's how wonderful and iconic
that was a guy that
Pedro
Ruben
Navaja
also
is.
Ruben always respected him, man. That was like one of his mentors. You know, Ruben used to be very tight with him. So, and it's funny because they both rest with the Lord. The week that Cheo died, so did Garcia
Yes,
Marquez.
that's right. That's crazy,
Both
right?
of them.
Now, can I ask a question? Now, out of all the artists that you have recorded with, and let's be completely open, all right? So you don't have to say, let's be honest. Let's be completely open. Of all the artists, who was the biggest prima donna? Who was the most difficult artist to record with? Like you could be like, Chacho, este tipo sí que está cabrón, bro. I don't like where he's going with this. Who was the most difficult dude to work with?
Wow. Well, you got me on that one, man. You know,
The list goes on and on?
Yeah, because, you know, it wasn't easy, man. You know, sometimes you get up on a stage and you got these band leaders that they be cursing, you know, on stage. Hey, man, you know, and I'm like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? But, I mean, the list is pretty big.
But let's say one. Tiene que haber un tipo pesado, un come mierda que you could be like, you know what, I don't want to record no more. But because, you know, you want to do this and it's for the love of the art and because you want to dedicate to the history of the movement, you continue doing it. Who would have been that one artist that you would say this was the most difficult dude to play with?
You got me on that one. That was hard to answer, man.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
It is. It is.
Amazing.
Because some of these guys were like, I know what you're saying, and I'm breathing hard to answer that question because some of these guys were like from day to day. One day they could be like real cool, then the next day they were like, you know, Freddy Krueger on Elm Street. You know?
Like I'll just give you in a contemporary, you know, way of answering. For instance, I used to run a record label ages ago. I would say about a good decade ago, 10 years ago, and there was this one salsa artist that I was very fond of, but nobody wanted to work with him. The dude was a Grammy winner. The dude was on radio left and right, but nobody wanted to work with this dude. And I'm like, why not?
Because of an attitude.
Because he had an attitude.
Yeah.
Because he knew better than everybody, and he would press people to the point that they no longer wanted to work with him. And that artist, believe it or not, was Mickey Taveras.
Really?
Nobody wanted to work with that guy. They felt that he was just way too heavy. And then just another example of that was Mickey Taveras.
Really?
And another artist that was just like that was, are you ready for this one? Pedro Jesus. The guy that sounded like Victor Manuel?
Yeah.
Him. People were just sick, and they were like, you know what? I can't work with this guy.
Wow. Hold on a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, listening through the TuneIn app, this is Picante Time with your host, DJ Eric La Mezcla, Roman S., the funny Latino, y tu maldito gringo, with our special guest this evening,
Grammy winner.
Montalvo.
Eddie
Grammy winner, maestro, y miembro de La Fania All Stars. Ya
Now-
tú sabes, mi gente. See, if you want to call us, you can give us a call at 718-705-4959. El número otra vez, 718-705-4959.
Wait a second. But now, we have a new number
That's
here.
right.
We
We're gonna
have
have
a
to
new
tape it
number
up
that
up
you
here.
can reach us here at the studio. It's the new hotline. The number is 914-969-6499. Y en español. Oh,
914-969-6499. 914-969-6499. Llámanos ahora.
That's right. Para hablar con Grammy winner Eddie Montalvo. I have a question, Eddie. What would be one of, because these guys are going on the negative, and, you know, I don't even want to ask you if you ever did drugs with Hector, but anyway.
No, I wasn't going on the
come
negative.
on, stop. I just wanted to know, what would have been your favorite venue to play, and, like, your favorite gig, like the one that sticks out, you go, wow, that was my favorite gig to do, like.
Whether it be here in New York,
Yeah, anywhere
or
in the world, like, where you just always loved going, where you did it was always a great
Well,
gig.
you know where we always really love to go, honestly, and when I started, we used to go a lot to Venezuela.
Very nice.
And we used to play in a place called El Poliedro, which was like Madison Square Garden here. At that time. Then, you know, you got to travel, and I did a lot of things. I also did a venue with Ruben now. This is Ruben. We did Santiago, Chile. We did the Amnesty International, which was like, maybe you could say 100,000 people. And this is no joke. I mean, it's like one of these soccer stadiums.
Wow.
And we did that with Sting, Sinead O'Connor.
Nice.
Peter Great.
There you go.
Peter Gabriel and New Kids in the Block. Oh, and Wynton Marsalis. So,
Nice.
that was years ago. But that, those were venues that always stuck with you. And then we did these venues also. It was Mark Anthony and Ruben in Venezuela, also soccer stadiums.
Wow.
So those were like, you look at the people and you're like, what? All these people came out to give support. And of course, they love the music. So, Ruben and Mark are two icons.
Well, for those that don't know, Ruben Blades was the one that actually gave Mark Anthony his biggest break in salsa. He's the one that believed in him
Really?
and put him on the map.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
I have to admit, my booking agent and my ex-road manager, Tito and Robert Morgallo, were Ruben's manager and road manager. And I've met Ruben on a few times, and he's as humble as you are. You know what I mean? He's the most humble dude. Like, they did a gig, and I went with Ruben, and he was carrying this little bag, and I was like, what's this? I thought the limo was going to come outside, and we actually got on the train, and I was like, when he got there, he had his shoes in a bag.
No, he's a humble cat.
Sweetest guy. I mean, he
he's
walks
very
everywhere.
humble. We will go on the road, and there's no stardom. He don't need no limo. He rides with us, and he doesn't go first class. He goes coach with us. It's not about that he wants to save the money or nothing. It's just that's his nature.
Right.
He's like, I'm one of yous, man. So don't look at me in another aspect.
Well, I learned that too because when you know what I mean, you go and do something, and the guys got mad that they're in the hotel, and I was out taking pictures and this and that, and it's like, you know what? These are my guys. You know what I mean? The biggest tour I ever did was 6 weeks. We went out on a tour bus, and it was the greatest experience, and I miss every day of it. You know what I mean? Because I only got to do it a very limited amount of time. But some of my best friends are the musicians, and I'd rather hang out. Like, I'll tell you names of. We did a show in Harlem, and they had the VIP section, and my bass player came up to me and said, "Oye, que la cerveza sale $1 cada una." I was like, "Whoa, here's $20. Get a bucket. I'll be over in 2 minutes."
Right.
Took my pictures, and I was like, "Okay, I'm out of here." And one of the guys was like, "Oh, you're leaving already?" "Yeah, brother, I want to go hang out with my friends." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
These guys are my friends.
Now, I have a question in regards to Ruben. Something I've never been right about. Is it Ruben Blades or Ruben Blades?
Well, you know what it is? I mean, it's really Blades. But if you say it to the American market, it's Blades.
You can say it to the white people. If you say it to white people, besides Pat Shannon, they're not going to get it.
Yeah, because este idiota sabe español.
Like
No, he's very well.
Like, he's very white. I thought my hearing's off. He's very white.
Well, you know what?
Perdóname, maestro.
No,
but you know what?
Que es ese show de
No,
Somos Payasos. Ya tú sabes.
Yeah, I kind of gave him a fair warning.
All right,
on
cool.
It, yeah. All right, now, we got a special treat, okay? Mr. Montalvo was kind enough to bring something to the studio.
Nice.
You're kidding.
No.
No way.
No, don't say anything.
Okay.
Don't say anything. We're going to play one song while you bring that little box in here.
But remember, you were the one that wrote to me and said, "Can you bring this with you?" And
yes, I did.
Because I just leave it home. And,
Is it your underwear collection from all the females that you've been with? Because I'd like to. Now, that's enough. Before you go to
it's
the
his
song,
underoos.
Again, I was per se the artist. I think the musicians shagged more women than. You know what I mean? Look, he smiled. I don't have to. Question answered. Thank you, sir. Are you married now? You got kids and all that?
Married.
How long you been married for?
30 years.
Oh, so you weren't able.
Nice.
So like,
That's an applause.
Now,
Blessings
you
on that
like
one.
me probably weren't able to do anything out on the road, so I get that. But I'm sure you saw the single musicians with it. I looked at them with envy. I was like, wow, look at this guy.
All right. So,
Everybody getting in trouble, right?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
so, Eddie, the song I'm going to play is one that was recorded with Cheo.
Okay, Carnavo.
Why don't you do us a favor and introduce the song? And while we play the song, you bring that special
Okay,
intro.
this was Carnavo was a song that honestly Tite Cure Alonso did on his own album.
Amazing.
And it's a long story, but anyway, while I was in Puerto Rico, Cheo said to me, he saw me and he said, "I heard you're recording." And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, what's up with me?" And I said, Cheo, I respect you so highly that with all the respect to you, I don't dare ask any of you guys because if you give me a certain amount, I might not have it, and I'm not crying poverty, but I'd rather not get embarrassed. And he says, you know, man, you're like a son to me. What's wrong with you? And I said, Cheo, thank you, but, you know, I just don't dare. He says, well, listen, let's do it better than this. Why don't you get a tune together, have somebody arrange it. I'm not going to tell you what tune. And why don't you, once you have it arranged, let me know what date to go to the studio and record. I said, are you kidding me, man? And he says, no, does it seem like I'm kidding? And I said, no, Cheo, thank you. And sure enough, you know, so we got that tune, Caunabo. I sent it to be arranged to his voice, and the rest is history.
Well, check this out, Maestro. I understand that because we had Andres de Jesus, who's huge in the Dominican, in the merengue, and he came in here and, you know, we had a great time with him. He was really cool. And when he left, he pulled me aside. He said, oye, gringo, yo quiero trabajar contigo. And I know how the business works. He's a man. He's big. I knew I couldn't afford him. And I was like, oh, Maestro, eso está bien. He's like, no, no, no. Me voy a hacer un arreglo para ti gratis. Wow. And I can't bring myself to call him because I just feel that he rates, you know what I mean? Yeah. He rates getting his price. Like I just feel, who am I that this guy should do, you know what I mean?
Right, no, I understand.
And that.
But you know what? He saw something in you, man, with all the respect. And something there was you know, something he saw in you, and he said, hey, man, this cat is straight up, you know.
But I get that. That's kind of cool, man.
All right, so here we go. The name of the song?
Caunabo.
En el monte solloza el indio Caunabo. En el monte solloza el indio Caunabo. Pero llorando suena Caona, el indio bravo. El que perdió la vida por un gran amor, el que virtió su sangre por una india en flor. Ay, qué linda suena Caona. En el monte solloza el indio Caunabo. Si el amor es sacrificio, allí fue sacrificado. Caunabo y Anacaona, amores martirizados. Ella misma se mató luego que al indio mataron. En el monte solloza el indio Caunabo, llorando suena Caona, espíritu de indio bravo. Martirizaron. En el monte se oye el indio. Pero fuego y fuego y fuego, fuego de guerra en el alma de Caunabo. En el monte se oye el indio Caunabo. Fuego en el pecho de indio bravo, el fuego que nunca apagaron. Te digo, en el monte se oye el indio Caunabo. Tite Curel escribió la historia de indios enamorados. Ajá. Eddie Montalvo, gracias por invitar a tu amiguito Cheo. Sabroso. El mundo entero recuerda la historia que nos dejaron así. En el monte se oye se quedaron.
En el monte se oye el indio caunabo.
Esto es pura inspiración para los enamorados. ¡Qué lindo! Ahí.
Se oye el indio caunabo.
Ay, como llora el indio, bendito.
Se oye el indio caunabo.
Lágrimas de fuego que el pecho quemaron.
Se oye el
Agua,
indio caunabo.
fuego de guerra en su alma.
Se oye el indio caunabo.
Hay fuego que sigue ardiente.
Se oye el indio caunabo.
Solo cenizas quedaron.
There you go.
¿Qué es salsa?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanto,
Para la
tanto-
gente joven que no sabe de la música, porque ya mi hija siempre está diciendo, mi papi, a mí no me gusta tu música. I was like, ¿cómo que la música mía tiene clase, tiene caridad, tiene, tú sabes que emociones, tiene, esta salsa tenía, mira, emociones. Todos los músicos que estaba tocando, tú puedes sentir. Wow, man, eso fue.
Check it out.
Y la voz de Cheo también.
Mira, check it out. This
Bendiciones
is
para
the
él.
CD, Eddie Montalvo CD right here. It's available right now. Is it not, Eddie?
That is correct.
All right. Now, if people want to get it, where can they get it?
Well, they can in the record shops, or they can order it. And they have it also on iTunes.
You're not gonna find it in Chinatown.
You're gonna
So go to iTunes.
you're gonna laugh. I even seen it on eBay.
Really?
Good.
Hey, as long as it's out there, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what counts.
As long
man.
as it makes noise.
Pero este CD, no por nada, no es para que uno lo esté escuchando solamente. Este CD, para mí, en mi opinión, porque yo he escuchado quite a few tracks, y de los que yo he escuchado, esto es más para el bailador.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
Esto está hecho para el
I
bailador.
went
So if
the
you
old
like
school.
to dance,
Yeah, I went the old school. You
and
know.
that's what it's for, right?
Yeah.
You didn't make it so that people could be all
I didn't make it. You know,
enamorado.
there's a lot of people that make albums for themselves.
Right.
I don't think about myself. I think about the dance. I think about the joy of a musician is when you're on stage and you can see people dancing. That's our joy. If we're in
the
a
same for a
dance and
DJ.
we're playing and the people are not dancing, something's wrong.
Yep.
Even though I know there's a lot of people that you can impress them with a good band and people will stand there in front of the stage and look because they're impressed. But you know what? You got to look beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been blessed and I thank the Lord for it. I really mean this. I did the Salsa Congress last year at the New York Hilton.
Okay.
And I got called again to do it this year.
Nice.
So, you know, that's a blessing because people say, Montalvo, you must be blessed because nobody comes there 2 years in a row. Of course, I'm going to open up on a Thursday, but still, I'm happy to be there.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You're there.
That is correct.
You're there. Y la gente, los bailadores de allá que van a estar ahí presentes, lo van a aceptar más
Right.
todavía.
Right. And you know what's happening is that I've been getting a little crowd of followers now, you know, now that I got this group together because I play this music
Uh-huh.
and I'm playing for the dancer.
Right.
También, tell the people what your next event is. What do you got going on?
Right. Well, my next event, to be honest with you, is July 26th, but I'm going to be in Hartford and in Bridgeport. I got an outdoor concert.
Okay.
And my invited guest is going to be Roberto Roena and Adalberto Santiago.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Beautiful.
You know, because
Sweet.
you got to make it happen. You know, we all got to eat. It ain't about me. You know?
Right.
It's share the wealth. So,
And that's the problem, man. A lot of people don't think like that, man.
Yeah, well,
ellos se
you
quieren
know.
comerse todo para
Yeah,
ellos.
no, it's not. It's not.
Que
It's
se
not.
atoren, bro. Que se atoren.
So how many people you think you're going to show up to the outdoor concert?
Well, the outdoor concert gets jammed because I did it last year. What happened was it started to rain. I got to the third number and it was pouring, and they didn't have a tarp, so we had to leave. And I told the guy, I said, "Listen, man, honestly, I owe you this one." He said, "No, you don't owe me nothing." He says, "You know, it's not your fault." I said, "Yeah, but you know, the musicians came up here and you gave me the money, and look, we work something out. I don't want you also to. I don't want you to think I took you for a ride. And he said, no, Eddie. Again, it's not you, man. It's the weather.
It was
I
just
said, well, he
circumstances.
says, but you know what? I want you next year. And I said, well, can we work out something because you already pay me? He says, forget about that. Don't worry about that. You know, I want you. And I said, well, you know what? Let's do it better. You want me next year? No problem. But you know what? I'm gonna invite 2 guest artists to make up for that gig that it rained out.
Wow, that's
you know?
amazing.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want everybody to know that I will be playing the opening of a hot dog stand on Avenue N and Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. We're expecting a large turnout of 4 people. Yes, it's going to be big. It's going to be big.
I'm a vegan, but I will still go. Okay, just to support you.
908 in the Mix Radio, Picante Time with your host, DJ Eric and La Mezcla. Roman S., the funny Latino.
Chacho, bro.
Y tu maldito gringo with our special guest, Eddie Montalvo.
Grammy winner.
That's right. You could give us a call at 718-705-4959, 718-705-4959, or our new number, 914-969-6499. That's 914-969-6499.
Coño, pero parece como que yo estoy fuera del corista aquí.
You're done. You're done.
Wow.
But
and that's 914-969-MIX.
MIXX. M-E-E-X-X.
XX. Falta uno más para hacerlo, tú sabes, bien pornográfico. All right. So, now, out of that Christmas box,
wow,
what do you have for us here?
Huge.
Here we go.
This is good.
Wait a minute.
Only you told me to bring this because you know what?
Getting a drum roll on that. We got to get the studio audience. And that's the actual one that
Right. Well, this is one of the ones that I got with Ruben. And
so you have more than one.
This is the Grammy nomination medal for that album that you guys just played.
Wow. Hold on a second. Yeah, I need pictures of this.
You got the pop
We've had porn stars in the studio, and we've never turned the cameras on. Just so you know. All right? Vamos. A la una, a la dos.
That's the Grammy nomination medal.
Qué lindo, bro. Que Dios te
for
bendiga.
the Desde Nueva York, Puerto Rico album that you guys are just playing.
Nice.
Right here. That's this
And
one right here.
This is a Grammy.
Vaya.
Todo Vuelven
Go
album
ahead.
with Ruben Blades.
Hold it proud, yo. Like a pair of Iris Chacon underwears. Hold it proud. Hold it proud. Mira para allá. Uno, dos. Look over here. Smile over here. Estos son los calzones de Iris. Wow. That's a selfie of a Grammy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. God bless you, man. God bless you. Que Dios me lo bendiga.
Increíble. Como, mira, yo soy un músico porque yo vivo para la música. No soy en tú sabes que.
Now, Pat, you were so unkind enough to put the microphone back for him.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but you don't understand what it's like for a musician. A Grammy.
Yes, it is, man.
It's like, you know, it's like winning the World Series, winning the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl MVP, and just to be in the and you know what I mean. So, muchas gracias,
and you know
maestro.
what?
Ya tú sabes.
It's just like you said. You know, Pat. Is honestly, it's like you're in shock because. I'll give you an example. This album that I did, I never thought you would go to the American Grammys and be nominated for the best tropical album. You know, I was under that category, and it was a shock. You didn't expect for it to go that route. You know, you did this on your own for your satisfaction, and all of a sudden this thing just took off. You know.
This is outrageous. I'm going to tell you, look, I dedicated 15 years of my life to the record business. I was a record executive. I've worked for every label, Sony, EMI, Universal, Warner, BMG. And the truth of the matter, I worked with so many artists, and they never came close to winning a Grammy. They actually won Gramos. They got Gramos.
Definitely.
They won Gramos. That's what they got. You know, so to see
Se
that
ganaron
right
esos
there,
gramos
bro.
de verdad.
El premio Gramo goes to. But this is outrageous to see that amazing looking award, and it's yours.
Thank you.
Whatever it is that you do with it, it is yours, and God bless you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
man.
Thank you.
Honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. I mean,
Wow.
now I know everybody here in the studio is kind of like speechless right now.
It's like
after
a woman
seeing-
with the hugest, most beautiful breasts. It's just taking her breath away. Just, I don't have nothing to say. I just want to stare at it. Wow.
This is outrageous. I don't know. Wow. And now I want to ask you a question. Okay, so I know about the contributions to the history of salsa. Now there happens to be a gentleman that I want to know a little bit more about, and I would like your complete, honest opinion. And you don't have to worry about it. You know, you're being who you are. You know, you have the right to express your opinion, and if you want to wear a bulletproof vest once you leave the studio, that's completely on you. But I want to know your opinion on a gentleman by the name of Larry Harlow.
Well,
Wow. Con eso está comenzando ya.
no. I've worked with Larry a couple of times with his group, but I really worked with Larry under the
Fania.
Fania.
Right.
You know, Fania All Stars. Larry is a guy that, you know, he's a cool cat, but he's very demanding.
Mm.
And I remember some of the concerts that I can tell you some stories that I remember doing some concerts with Fania All Stars, and Larry would come, and if he would see a camera or that they were recording, he would pull back with the late Ray Barretto, both of them. May Ray rest in peace. And he would say, "Hey Ray, come here," and Ray would go over there and he says, "Hey man, we're not gonna go on stage. Look, they got a camera over there. They're recording. We got to get more money." So he was like the guy that was started, you know. But that's really, I worked with Larry not long. When Chembo, the conga player, was not able to make some of the gigs, Chembo would call me and he would tell Larry that I was going to do the gig for him, and he would say no problem. So I really don't have too much to say. I mean, you know.
Wow, you kept it political. I like that. I like that.
I really don't have too much to say about Larry. I mean, he just got married. He invited me to his wedding,
In
but
Miami.
I couldn't make it.
This
You know what I'm
weekend,
saying?
congratulations.
Larry Harlow just got married?
Yeah,
How old
got
is his
married.
wife? Like 20?
She's like 40.
Well, she does. She
something.
looks young.
wow.
She does
Yeah.
look young.
Yeah.
He's my hero.
Yeah, he invited me to the
To the wedding.
to the ceremony,
Oh, to the
but
ceremony.
to the wedding really in Miami. But I wasn't able to make it because I was in Baltimore.
Pero espérate, pero si él vive aquí.
Yeah, but he has a condo out there.
Oh, okay.
He has a condo up there.
He's an old Jewish man. Of course he has a condo in Miami. Holy shit, come on. You're surprised by this, Eric?
Now,
Old Jewish people, they have condos in Florida.
Listen. You
Shalom,
white
what
guys
you
are
doing?
known for having the great credit scores and all of that.
Not anymore.
That's right. That's why I'm
I
saying
have to be honest.
Here's my last question, and after this, I'll just stay quiet because, you know, I mean, I like striking hairs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Jalar los pelitos. Of all the beefs, because siempre hay tiradera dentro de las industrias, dentro de los géneros. Of all the beefs that ever broke out within Fania, which one to you was perhaps maybe the one that made you worry the most? You know, like you want to, as a conguero, you want to work with many artists, you know, contribute to the sound. But which one made you realize this is something that we all need to, you know, remove ourselves from and let them figure this shit out?
Now, I didn't quite get the question.
All right, so I've heard that there used to be issues between Tito Rodriguez and Johnny Pacheco, and then there was issues between Tito Puente and Larry Harlow, and then there were problems between, you know, other artists, for instance Ismael Miranda, you know. So I want to know of any knowledge that you had of beefs.
That was Ismael Miranda with Harlow was one of them.
Okay.
Sometimes. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna say how it is.
I love that. Good,
I'm not gonna
Go ahead.
sugarcoat it. Sometimes it could have been Hector and Ruben.
Okay.
You know, even though Ruben was always cool, but you know, Hector had his ways.
Right.
You know, Hector was like the kid.
So the biggest one to you was Hector and Ruben.
Well, yeah, but not really. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff going on. You know, I hate to say this, but sometimes people got egos.
Okay. Not
you know,
sometimes, all the time.
I find that it's not going to get you nowhere. You know, you got to be yourself. And you can't down the other guy. He's got his technique. You got yours. You know, you got your way of singing. The other guy's got his way of singing. But the other guys, there's a lot of guys that, oh, you imitate me or I sound better than you. And, when you're young and you're listening to that, you're like, damn, these guys got an ego. Or you will go up on stage and you will see that and you say, damn, what's wrong with this cat, today? But it was like that. But, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, there was always a conflict at the end with Ismael.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah, behind the closed doors, it was always Ismael and Larry.
Larry and Ismael. And you know what? Ismael, correct me if I'm wrong, was one of the youngest salseros to get on board.
Yeah.
They actually had to lie about his age so he could be able to perform at certain venues.
Yeah.
And he was able to perform in such a way that, first and foremost, many of the vocalists did not like the way he sang because they would think that he was not on key. But the way he did it, there was just no way to deny.
And his voice right now is like slamming.
Yeah. Think about it.
I mean, if you listen to him right now, honestly, it's like, wait a minute, man. I heard this guy 30 years ago.
Y no sonaba así.
He was like 15 years old.
This guy's voice is like monstrous.
He was 15 years old. They would draw mustaches on him so he could perform at nightclubs. I'm not lying.
So is that the reason why you fancied your mustache?
That's right.
Ismael.
I figured it into my 30s to grow a mustache. But yo, high five, bro. You've been really honest, man.
But now, hold on. As a musician, if you get up to do your thing and you respect everybody, if you get somebody that kind of challenges you, doesn't that give you the fire to play your best that night?
You know what?
Because that's what happens to me. I had an artist say something.
But you know what happens, honestly? There's no, I find, personally, there's no need that I have to compete. Because, listen, I'm straight up. You've done so many recordings that you don't have to prove yourself to nobody.
Yeah, that's...
Okay? Because, with all the respect, they're not going to be able to fit and do what you have done. Okay, I've done over 200 recordings. Okay? You look at all those old albums, you'll always see. And some of those albums, we never got credit. Because we did a lot of albums with Johnny Pacheco that we never got credit. It was always the singer and Johnny, and the musician never existed. But whoever knows your style of playing says, hey, that's Eddie playing. Right. So, I feel that, and that's being childish, because I feel that you see some of these young bloods, they want to get up on stage and tear you up. Well, I'm going to tear that old man up. My man, I'm taking my money home at the end of the night. You could beat that drum, so you want to beat it. Because you're just trying to show something.
Maybe it's the Marine in me, maybe it's the Brooklyn in me. But I'll tell you off the air, I had an artist, they announced that I was going to be singing Okay Cool, and he got up on stage and he was like, mira, posiblemente hay artistas, pero yo soy la voz de la juventud.
Wow.
And he sang, right? And I was just looking at him and I went, cool. And I put on a vocal clinic that day.
Right.
Like, I put my voice in places where, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
a friend of mine actually asked me, did you do that on purpose? Damn right I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still a man.
Right.
You just don't do that.
Right.
It happened twice in my career. Once in Indianapolis. The promoter came up to me. He said, yo, I got a problem. The opening band feels that they're hit. Now, I was actually doing my thing in Indianapolis. I was getting super airplay. I was like, okay. He said, but these people refuse to come on after you.
Oof.
I was like, okay. Let me ask you a question. Is there like a discount I have to give you money back? He was like, no. Let me talk to the musicians. Oye, señores, ¿vamos a tocar primeramente o tú quieren esperar? No, vamos a tocar y vamos a buscar mujeres y tomar. Of course, it was the last night of the tour. And I was like, okay. I was like, no problem. I'll tell you who that was afterwards. And again, even the promoter was like, you were a little irritated, weren't you? I was like, yeah, it was offensive. But whatever. You made your money. He said your voice was thundering like an old Mexican singer. Like you came out of the box warmed up. And I was like, dude, because it's offensive. Me, I would be so happy to just A, be on the bill, and B, got paid before I went on stage. I'd be like, woo! I wouldn't care who sang before me, who sang after me. You want to pay me? I'll go there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Am I getting paid today? Okay, I'm good.
Right.
But I mean, it was just, I'll tell you the two bands when we go to break, but I like shit like that. I think.
But it's funny that you mentioned that, because in the 70s, I can recall, and this is no
There
lie,
was a lot of that going on.
There was a lot of that going on. And if you guys can recall, when they used to do those posters out in the street, it was about top billing. So if your name wasn't up on top or your name was second to the other artist, the second guy on the list would say, you know what, I'm not playing tonight. But what do you mean? I got you announced. You didn't give me top billing. It was that ego thing, you know. So what would the promoters do? They would put both names up on top, one on the left and one on the right, and then everyone else below.
Right.
Because it was that, you know, it was that ego thing, man.
Yeah, I
It's
come
like-
from the Metallica age where you were just happy to do the gig and whatever it took to get out there. Just see me right now. I'm at the point where I love to play music.
Right.
As long as you're playing, that's all.
No,
that
I mean
matters.
honestly, I'm not. If you said to me, "Hey, man, tomorrow we're gonna this," ain't no money in it. It would be
No, of
such an
course.
honor and a pleasure
No,
to just
no,
get up
we-
on stage
we-
and play music.
Same thing. The same
You know what I
thing.
mean? It'd be
Yeah.
like, cool, I'm in.
Right.
Because my wife always asks me, "Getting paid?" No, I'm not. Hold on a minute. You love to cook, and this. If Rachel Ray invited you on her show to cook one of your dishes, would you go, or would you
Yeah.
get mad if I
Listen,
asked you to get? You know what I mean?
We're all in the same bag because you know what? With all the respect, even for recordings, sometimes I get recordings. I did a recording with someone the other day, and when he went to pay me, I said, "No, man." And he says, "Come on, man." I said, "Well, let me give you for the bridge and all that," because I said, "No, man, don't worry about it." Because it's like that. It's just the joy, the
Es el
love,
amor de la
the
música.
love that you have for it.
Yeah. Now, Eddie, quick thing. If people want to get in contact with you for performances or whatever, what's the best way that they can get in
Well,
contact with
it's
you?
easy. I mean, I get my cell number is 917.
Here we go.
Wow, that's direct.
Hold on, let me get this. Whoa,
Hold on.
Let me write this down.
All right,
too.
write it down. 917 202 2432, or you could write LP Montalvo at AOL.com.
That's the one I like. LP Montalvo.
And in case there's any inquiries regarding, back pay on child support.
No,
where
no,
do
no.
they-
I ain't got none of that. I ain't got none of that, man.
That would be
Thank God.
ABC123 at yahoo.com.
30 years married. 30 years
You know?
married. All right. My question: what has been your secret to sustain a happy? Well, you know what? I'm assuming that it was happy. But what has been your secret to sustain a 30-year marriage?
Well, the person has to understand that,
Que tú
first
no
of
estás en
all, that
casa
you're a
mucho.
musician.
That you're not home
And
much.
that's not easy, because when you're on the road a lot,
There it is.
it could be a failure. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take care of the store, you might as well sell it.
Okay.
Or, like they say, in Spanish. But, as long as you have a good understanding and honestly, you're bringing home that bacon and you're taking care of, the family.
And it doesn't hurt that you look a little bit like Andres Garcia. So we're good. We're good.
Man,
Oye,
I'm getting
espérate,
older,
mira,
my brother.
cuántos
I'm getting older.
amores.
So now, does your wife support? Okay, let's say you were not making as much or bringing as much bacon home and had to do the day thing.
But you got to
Was-
remember one thing. There's one thing that you guys don't know. I have a pension. I worked 34 years for Con Edison.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay.
Because I'm on the MTA buses now. I'm a bus driver for the city.
I worked
for a month.
34 years in Con Ed, and I was a first responder for 9/11.
All right.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah.
See,
but now,
that being
does your
said-
wife support? Because my wife is cool with it until it kind of like there were nights I always worked. I always had a family. I got into the music business late. I was 32 or 33 when my first record came out because I had to learn how to speak Spanish.
Right.
Anyway, my record came out. I always had a job. There were nights I'd get off the plane from Denver, Colorado. I was signing asses and chests and pictures. Get off the plane, get into LaGuardia at 2 in the morning, go home, take a shower, and go to work at 5.
Right.
I
Well,
did it because I
Right. Well, that was me. I used to finish a gig at 4 in the morning. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I was in a manhole.
yeah.
I did that for 34 years. And
Now
people
that
say-
I respect.
Yeah.
That is respect right
You know,
there.
if
did
I
it
was
for
him-
34, and people say to me, Eddie, honestly, how did you do all those trips? I said, look, I didn't have a rabbi, I didn't have a priest. It was all God sent, because, and I have to say it like that. And I don't want anybody to say, oh man, this guy's holy. But it's the truth. I got to give credit where it comes from. I never thought in my life that I would last 34 years in Con Ed. I remember coming into those manholes. I was 21 years old when I started in Con Ed. Started in 1973. And man, it was cold out there. And, the main mechanic would go down to the manhole and he would say from the top of the manhole, hey, give me this wrench. Hey, send me this. Give me this cable. I was new. And it's like somebody saying to you, hey, get me the left-hand screwdriver. you don't know any better.
Right.
But I went through all that. I went through. People would curse at me, because now if you curse at somebody, they bring you up on charges. At those times it was, yo, come on, you speak, you can't get this out. It was like, what? But I held on, man. For 34 years.
Now, what year did you retire? How long you been retired?
I retired in 2007. Well, they retired me because my lungs got scarred from 9/11. But I started in 73.
Wow.
And I did 34 years of service. I got out when I was 55 years old.
That's big right there, man. Yeah.
man.
Because I'll be honest, since you left the job, my Con Ed service sucks. Because that's what I tell people about the Marine Corps. Hey, the country was never attacked when I was on it.
Right.
But yeah, I just got on the buses, and last week I was telling
you're doing
Roman.
MTA?
Yeah, I'm a New York
that's
City
great,
Transit
man.
bus driver.
Great,
Yeah,
man.
I was in East New York. I was thinking of legally
Brooklyn.
changing my name to Mother Effer, but I just got transferred to
Explain
Staten
to him
Island.
why. Explain to him why, though.
All right. My first day. Now I've worked East New York as a milkman. I'm not
Right.
my brother-in-law has a Dominican restaurant. I hang out in there. I walk around. It's no big deal. First day, made this turn. 2 buses, 2 trucks were hiding the bus stop, and the guy goes, "Ooh, stop! I didn't see the bus stop. How could you see it? It's 2 double parked. All right, stop." Old Morenita gets on. Dipped her MetroCard, looked me dead in the face. She goes, should I say the word? Or
Go ahead.
Just so you can, excuse my language, so you can understand the magnitude of it. The first one got on, dipped her MetroCard, said, "Don't you know where the bus stop is, you stupid motherfucker? Give my transfer." And I was like, God.
Wow.
The next woman came up behind her with her phone in her ear. "Yeah, hold on, if this stupid ass motherfucker, yo, give me my transfer, dumbass." I was like, God. That was my first day on the job.
Wow.
There's been, I was out there for 3 weeks. There's been fights on the bus. This, that. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
seen it all. Now they transfer me to Staten Island. But here's the beauty. Last week, they'll tell you, I was down. I was depressed because I didn't know where I was going. And I haven't done music in a year because I had to work. I was working 6 days a week with the milk company. I was up at 3 in the
And
morning.
you have rotating shift?
No, I just was 3 in the morning till like 6 at night. I would get home at 7, 8, 6 days a week.
Wow.
I was lucky to drag my ass in here. I just met a pick, Staten Island. They were like, "Go pick your job that you want." I was like, "Pick a job? Just put me on the extra list. I need to make money." Extra list is closed. You got 2 choices, shit or shitty. And I looked, and the shit when they considered 5:30 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm a musician. This is perfect. Like I don't have to leave this show. I'm off Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I'm already to wheels." Because I went to my wife the other day, and I was like, "Honey, she's like, what's wrong with you? You've been down since you got this job." I was like, "No, I thank God that I got this job, but I'm empty without playing music. Like I'm dead. My soul is dead." And she was like, "Oh, you're 50 years old. Grow up." I was like, No. They got rehab for drugs. They got rehab for alcohol. There's no rehab for music. You can't.
Right.
And she was like, "Well, I don't understand." Okay, maybe you could understand this. Without music, I have one woman, and it's you. With music, I have any woman. Woo! But you know what I mean? Like I'm now at the point in my life where it's all about the music, and I'm ecstatic. I picked the job Thursday. I've been on a high. You know what I mean? Like even my show today, I felt was better. The music was, everything sounded better. Food's tasting better, water, because I know it's only a matter of time, and I get to go back out there and do what I was born to do.
Now, speaking about the music, Eddie, of this latest CD that you have 9 songs.
Right.
Everybody can see the cover to the CD. Which is the song that you like the most?
Well,
your favorite on this?
I don't even know what to tell you, man. I mean, I like them all, so I really don't know, honestly.
Which one? All right, which one stands out for you the most, though? Here, you want me to?
Well, that's all right. I think I have an album here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So there are no filler songs, right?
No. What I did was, it's funny. I went back to the old school, and then there's a lot of new songs here. Domingo wrote a song.
Domingo Quiñones.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's doing good.
He's working it out.
Yeah, he's
working
doing
it
good.
out. All right.
Yeah, very good. Also, Timba Timbero's another one that they did. It's brand new.
Which one do you want to hear now?
Well, you know
Let's
what?
push one.
Well, put Timba Timbero.
All right, Timba Timbero. Give us a little history on that one.
Well, that's a song that Richie Vieira in Puerto Rico wrote this tune with my name, and you'll listen to it. The rest is going to be history. I ain't going to tell you no more.
All right, so introduce the song for us.
All right, Timba Timbero.
a quitarse, que viene repartiendo cuero. Ahora sí, a gozar. Y como camina el swing. Esto que se trata, número bueno, cuando Montalvo repica el cuero. Eddie Montalvo, número de la mata a la raíz, número bueno, para aprender tienes que llegar aquí. Eddie Montalvo, número de la mata, con respeto y admiración, número bueno, a Chano, Bozo, Mongo y Barreto. Eddie Montalvo, número de la mata, ellos son de la verdadera escuela. Vaya papoluca, te botaste. Repica.
Un aplauso, yeah, baby. Eso que se llama la salsa, mi gente. Once again, you're listening to Picante Time on In The Mix Radio with your host, DJ Eric and La Mezcla. Roman S., the funny, sexy Latino.
I'm just here freaking just.
Tu maldito gringo Patrick Shannon, our
This is-
special guest.
You're in awe. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
We
man,
had La
unbelievable.
Bruja last
And
week.
their family.
That's my cousin.
Oh my God! No wonder. No what you guys have like just enchanting effects.
Great
You know?
genes, right?
Amazing.
Yeah,
for
man.
real. For real. For real. For real.
But
And now here's the other thing. Eddie has also done clinics on how to play the conga.
Yeah, well, I've been with Latin percussion since 1976.
Wow.
wow.
And I also have my own signature line of congas.
Really?
Yeah. If you look in the LP, you'll see it says Eddie Montalvo signature line.
No sweat.
Another blessing. And when I go out of town to economize the company money from buying me an airplane ticket, if I'm out of town with a group and they have music stores that sell Latin percussion instruments, I usually do a clinic.
Oh, sweat.
Yeah.
Wow, excellent.
That's hot.
And to be honest with you, I've done a lot of clinics from the bottom of my heart, not for money, because not everybody has money, and it's not, everything is not about money.
Right. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you traveled to Ecuador at all?
I've traveled to Ecuador with Ruin when we did the Todo Vuelven tour.
Okay.
And, well, I ran all over Argentina, Buenos Aires. I did all that. I did Chile, we did Venezuela, we did Peru.
Did you do the
Colombia.
thing with Africa when Fania went?
No.
You didn't do that? Zaire?
At that time was, I believe it was Mongo Santana, Maria, and Ray Barretto.
Okay.
You know what?
I came in 79.
Being that you said Ray Barretto, from your opinion,
He's a
who
great
has
guy.
been
He's a great
the
guy.
greatest conguero? The greatest.
Eddie Besides Montalvo. Eddie Montalvo.
Hold on,
What kind of question is that?
I want no outside of Eddie Montalvo.
No.
Who has
I
been
mean-
the greatest conguero?
No, there's no. You really listen to me right now. The monster at this moment right now is Giovanni Hidalgo.
That's exactly who I was gonna say. Okay.
You know,
Who
he's
does he
a
play
monster.
with?
He's a monster. I mean, just go on in the internet and you'll see what he's
YouTube.
about.
Ray
And
Barretto,
he's a young man
Giovanni
that
Hidalgo.
he's a young man that I really respect, even though I'm older, because first of all, he has respect for the older drummers. He can put everybody down to shame, but out of the respect that he has for the elder drummers with names, and he knows all of our styles of playing, he will not get on a stage and try to tear you apart.
Right.
You know, he conducts himself like a gentleman. You know.
And now vocalist wise, who of all the new school salseros, and when I say new school salseros, I'm talking about people like
to the radio recently.
Frankie Morales. Now I'm talking about the real salseros, Frankie Morales, Herman Oliveira. You know, those real dudes. Who do you think has the most, the voice that contributes the most to the essence of salsa?
Name me a couple that you want me. Give me a couple.
Right, I'll tell you right now. I love Frankie Vasquez.
Right, Frankie Vasquez, Sonero del Barrio.
I love Frankie
He's
Vasquez.
great. El Man is great.
Herman Oliveira.
What about Frankie Morales?
What about Frankie
Frankie's
Morales?
great.
Well, they're all great. I like this. This guy, you should run for office, bro. You should be the president of the Bronx. Do you live in the Bronx?
I do.
So please run for office in the Bronx.
Speaking of which, we have in the chat room El de la Bodega 2020.
Yeah,
from
Anthony
Southern
Rivera.
Boulevard, Anthony Rivera. So Eddie Montalvo,
Now-
if you're ever in the Southern Boulevard area, all you got to do is go to Anthony's Bodega and he will hook you up with a meal for free.
Oh, great. Thank
For
you,
real.
Anthony.
Turkey sandwich
Yes.
at the house.
Yes, they sell some awesome sandwiches there.
Wow.
Hey, I just want you to know, I used to do clinics when we used to go in the Marine Corps and conquer other races. We taught them hygiene. I used to sing songs like, "This is what we call the soap. It's not for eating." Nope, nope, nope. That was a joke. But, wow. So now, again, I did my gigs and whatnot in the Dominican Republic. You know who impressed me most in salsa? A kid named Sex Appeal.
Very good
His
guy.
voice, just vocally, I'm talking about. But then you got Alex Mato, got the certain style. But a lot of the guys sound different live than they do. But Sex
But
Appeal
it's funny,
brought
right?
it.
Because you guys know, because you've been in the music scene for a long time. One guy comes out, then a lot of people try to imitate that guy.
Right.
It was the same thing with the arrangers. A guy made a great arrangement, and everybody starts using him. Then everybody starts sounding the
Sounded like
same.
him. Like, I'll tell you who's big in the Dominican Republic. The first salsa that came out in a while was Alex Matos, right? He came out. Victor Weil did the arrangement. And I toured with Victor. He's a friend of mine. Then he started doing everybody's.
Yeah, well,
then he
that's-
put out his own stuff. And to me, it's going to be offensive, but he kind of got, not the greatest singer in the world, but he sings with such emotion, like I feel when he sings. But again, I'm not going to sit here. It's kind of like trying to compare Tom Jones, who is incredibly vocally, with like Sinatra.
Right.
It's just different.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, it's now the market's getting flooded with all the new, and the thing that kills me is, oh, you should record salsa. Why? Because it's hot now. No, no, you know what I mean? When hip hop was hot, I didn't run out and do hip hop. It's stick to what you do good. I mean, now I'm getting just to the older part where I feel like I got a voice. I should use it for more, because I want to grow old with the music. So I'm looking to do more like ballads and stuff. Not that anyone cares what I'm doing. I mean,
We care what you're doing, but
you do, and Eric does.
you know,
Nobody else.
But I want to say,
Well, the main thing is to support you, what you do.
You know.
You know what I'm saying? If that's what you like, I mean, you got our backs, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you guys do.
I want to say, from
Yes, sir.
from having worked in the music business, what I've realized of all the genres of Latin music, all right, salsa happens to be the only genre of Latin music that is played around the world. There is not a single continent that has not been impacted by the essence of salsa.
That is true.
That's true.
So that's why I will say it. Salsa is and will forever be one of the most prolific genres of Latin music.
I agree.
I agree.
I
That's
also
true.
agree.
I have to agree with that, because when people say, I've done merengue and bachata, I've done choros and a few salsa, like on the Goya floats and whatnot.
Right.
And it's great, But I'm more of a, when I tell people, oh, yeah, I sing Spanish music, they go, salsa, oh, you sing salsa. And I'm like, no, it is. Because, you know, it's the big, it's the big. I mean, you know, I married a Puerto Rican broad, so imagine. Like, she was like, when are you going to do salsa? I'm like, honey, I'm Dominican, for crying out loud. Why didn't you post that up, Eric? What a great picture.
Merenguero hasta la tambora, this guy.
Yeah.
So, Eddie, pick up another song. Which one is another one of
let's
your...
listen to the one that Ruben sang, El Hijo del Ricachón.
And explain to us about that song.
That's a song that was never recorded. Tito had written the lyrics, and it was about a family that their father was rich and he didn't want the child to play with the kids from the neighborhood. You know,
Eric's family.
You know?
Yeah,
that's
mine.
Eric's father.
Mine, yeah.
Eric's father didn't want him playing with the kids in the Bronx.
He was like a banker, you know. He had all the money, but he didn't want them to play with the kids from the neighborhood. You know, it had to be high society.
Wow. Okay. So, introduce the song for us, please.
El Hijo del Ricachón.
El hijo del ricachón quisiera jugar con el niño pobre y sueña que está en la calle bateando bola, que tiene amigos. Se pregunta qué debe hacer para que le sobre de vez en cuando el momento de ser feliz. Al hijo del ricachón lo han visto llorando con todo y que es rico. Quisiera sentir la dicha de un mediodía en el callejón, tener 2 o 3 peleas como las tienen todos los chicos. Él por dentro se siente incompleto, le falta dicha
group.
Yeah, baby.
The great Ruben Blades.
Eso que se llama salsa, papá.
Eso es.
Eso fue música.
So basically, the whole album has that feel.
Yeah, it has that feel.
Música para
great.
bailador.
Excellent.
The DJs have told me, hey Eddie, man, sometimes we get CDs and only one or two tunes we play because the rest. He says, but you've been gifted because all the DJs get the CD, and what they do is they said, man, we could run to the bathroom and let the thing roll because everybody likes what they hear. So again, to each his own, whatever they like. But I mean, I've been fortunate, I've been blessed that the CD, everyone likes what they're hearing in the CD.
Now, there's a name on here that sounds familiar, but for some reason I can't place. Isaac Delgado.
Isaac Delgado. Isaac Delgado is a Cuban singer. What happened was,
There you go.
he came in from Miami, and he was picked up, and he was gonna do some chorus in the recording studio, and it so happens that they were putting in some horns on my on this CD, and when he heard it, he said, "Man, whose album is that?" And he said the guy behind the board said, "That's Eddie Montalvo's album," and he said, "Yo, man, that's like big sound." And he says, "Yeah, it's big sound, and it's a good production. I mean, for the way it's coming out." So he said, "Man, I wouldn't mind recording a tune in there." And the guy says, "Are you kidding me?" And he says, "No, I'm not kidding you." And we know Eddie. The guy says, "I know Eddie Montalvo, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind." So I got the call. It says, "Man, you ain't gonna believe it. You know who wants to record your album?" I said, "Who?" He said, "Isaac Delgado." I said, "Now you gotta be kidding me." He said, "I'm serious. I got him in the studio now." So this is how it happened. So all of a sudden, Isaac came on board to sing this tune.
Tumba Tambo.
Tambo.
Tumba Tambo.
Wow.
Shout out going out to cousin Liz. Liz Rue is in the chat room, and everybody in the chat room. Just people are going crazy in the chat room, man. Just chatting about salsa.
For real.
For real. Like,
You know what we haven't done? I'm sorry to cut you off. Our roll call.
Any gay jokes? We haven't done any gay jokes either.
Hey, you haven't done enough gay jokes. Come on. I got my machine back.
It's time for some
roll call.
Should I go top to bottom or bottom to top?
Top to bottom.
All right, so we got Tu Maldito Gringo Pat Shannon, El Maestro Grammy winner Eddie Montalvo.
Yes.
The gayest man, La Reina del Internet Radio, DJ Eric. Roman S. The funny Latino.
That's me.
Mari Fabián, una mexicana escuchando desde San Diego, California. Saludo a Mari. Wow. Anthony Rivera de la Bodega 2020, el hombre más salsero que yo conozco. Ese tipo siempre está hablando, bailando.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
De salsa. So,
Thank you.
Anthony.
Oh, you mean Anthony.
De la Bodega 2020. Tú eres salsero, papá. Maritza Sanchez, and of course, better known as
DJ Lady Love.
And the very sexy and sensual
Mary Huertas.
Huertas.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Everybody's just popping off in the chat room and talking about salsa. I mean,
and they're talking about Eddie Montalvo, el maestro.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Para la gente que no sabe quién tenemos en el estudio, somos Picante Time de In The Mix Radio. Yo soy Patrick Shannon, tu maldito gringo, with your host DJ Eric en la mezcla, y Roman S, the funny Latino, and we have el maestro, el ganador de un Grammy,
Eddie Montalvo.
Eso es.
Thank you.
Ya tú sabes. 9:56 here at In The Mix Radio.
And also, if you don't know about it, please download the In The Mix Radio app. It is absolutely free. You can download it to your cell phone. You can download it to your iPad, iPod. And again, it is absolutely free. Just look for In The Mix.
And one last public service announcement. You see how great the music is out here? Why don't you people try buying the record?
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, and if you go to iTunes, each song is 99 cents.
Yeah, I mean, let's support.
For
People
Christ
cry,
out
oh, que no hay salsa, la gente no está grabando la vaina. You're getting the music free off the internet.
Duh.
You know, how do you expect? Now, Eddie, Do you sell these at the shows?
You know, it's funny.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm gonna be honest with you, Pat. People say to me, Montalvo, you're crazy. Why don't you take boxes and you can sell them at the show? But you know what happened was that I gave it to a distributor, and I didn't want to disrespect, you know. And I knew you could say, but you're crazy. What do you mean disrespect? It's your product. It's your money. But you know, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. So now, from now on, when I do these concerts, I'm gonna.
Well, I'll tell you what you should do. If I was your management, I would come to you and go, Eddie, this is a heavy metal idea. I'm going to give it to you. When you're done the show, you should have a little meet and greet table.
Yeah.
Sit there with the CD.
Sign
Not
it.
only you get it signed, let's say $15, you get your picture with Eddie, you get it signed, boom.
That's great.
Eddie, listen, I worked 15 years of my life in the music business, all right? I've taken independent artists and made them Grammy winners. I was joking earlier that none of them ever won Grammys, but I'm going to tell you how I did it. Number one, you register this to SoundScan. Done?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wherever it is that you go perform, you have to request a SoundScan venue form. That form will then entail all of your sales to be reported to SoundScan. So at the end of the day, let's say you sell 50 CDs or 100 CDs. Here's what happens. All of a sudden, that week, you registered 300 sales. You are the #1 record in that market for that week. Now, once the 52 weeks are done, the YTD comes up and the report is going that Eddie Montalvo has consistently sold 50 to 100 CDs. Guess what happens? You're automatically entered into winning Billboard Record of the Year. Forget Grammys. You already got that, right? Of course, you want to win another one. But what it comes down to is register each and every sale. The fact that you've given the record to the distributors, that's wonderful. Kudos to you. And honestly, congratulations to them for still being in business. But wherever it is that your people are, bring your music there. You bring the music to the people to the music, make those sales happen. And mi hermano, te digo, las bendiciones son tuyas because I see you on top of the Billboard charts.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's a show.
Yeah, man. All good things have to come to an end, and
Yes.
there were no gay jokes tonight.
Isn't that wonderful?
I'm happy, bro.
That
I'm
there
happy.
were no gay
Oh
jokes.
my God, I feel so good.
Yeah, there was some gay shit
Oh
going
my
on.
God, I was scared, bro.
And I didn't bring it up.
That means my cousin was
Oh,
here.
yeah.
She got them
He
all.
never brings
wasn't
it
my
up.
idea.
I went to Monday Mass. Who do you know that goes to Monday Mass? Exactly. I had to go to Monday Mass because of what I heard last week.
Well, to be honest, when I first came on, I'll say the story again. I had a filter. I never said anything, and Eric was like, dude, you're hilarious in the green room. I was like, you know, I'm an artist. And then one day I had a couple of cocktails in here. That was it. He
That
was
was
like,
it. You
get
broke
rid
it.
of the filter. And, you know, it is what it is.
All right. Well, Eddie, thank you
Maestro,
for stopping
yes.
by and
Thank
blessing
you.
us here at
Thank
Picante
you
Time.
guys. Thank you guys for bringing me on, and to all the listeners, you know, who are watching and who are going to see the show anyway, like you said.
Worldwide, mind you.
Thank you so much, and
Once again, just give us the info as
Always
to
an honor, you
if
know.
they want to get in contact with you. What's the best way?
917-202-2432 LP Montalvo at AOL.com.
There you go. And if they want to get your music, what's the best way of doing
Record
so?
shops or, you know, iTunes or even on eBay, they selling it.
Okay.
Not in Chinatown. Don't go to Chinatown and find this record.
Now, do you have an Instagram?
You know, it's funny. I might have one. I don't even use it.
But you do have Facebook, though.
Yes, I do.
All right. So, once again, thank you, Eddie Montalvo.
Thank you.
We hope to have you here again with your next project when you do come up with another one. And also, as always, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, this next week, actually, next Sunday, we will be off. And we will return for the first Sunday of the month of July. Until then, God bless. Stay well.
Can I drop a commercial before we go?
Go ahead.
I don't usually do this self-promoting, but you could follow me on Instagram at Tu Maldito Gringo and Twitter at Tu Maldito Gringo. And check this out. Tu Maldito Gringo Patrick Shannon will be
here we go.
emceeing the boxing matches. World Class Boxing in association with Grind Productions presents a night of boxing, June 28, 2014. Doors open at 7 p.m. The first bout will be at 8, and it is in Gaelic Park. Sweet.
Wow, Riverdale.
400 Corlear Avenue in the Bronx, New York. Hosted by none other
Then the
Pat
gayest
Shannon.
man in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a night of boxing entertainment. I'm your MC, ring announcer for the evening. So I'm going to be there if you want to come out and check out, hang out, and afterwards we might go to Roman's house for his birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, yeah, my birthday
Do I
party.
have to bring beer?
No.
12-pack of Schaefer, $7.50.
I actually have one of the sexiest bartenders in all of New York City handling my drinks at
Really?
at my birthday party. Please
Liz?
be there.
Eric's going to be
No,
serving
Liz
drinks at
will
your
be
party?
there as well. And I'm
Okay.
also having a small comedy show, so you guys are all open to come through. Please come through. All right, that's next Saturday from 7 to 11 at my home.
And-
which
and-
I'm not
and
gonna
we
share
must- we
where-
must add-
No, I'm not going to share that.
We must add that there's going to be valet parking.
There will be valet parking.
Really?
Yes.
You're
and
having ballet parking
my-
at your birthday party?
my brother, I'm the Diddy from the Bronx.
Yeah, but check it out. When you valet park the car, when you get it back, there's no computer in it. The tires are gone. The battery's gone. He's having a tire sale on Monday. No, my granddaughter needs a baby seat. Tough guy. Wow, I think I'm going to go right after I get out.
And for those listening, please do follow me on Instagram. That's The Funny Latino, TheFunnyLatino on Instagram, and on Twitter at Funny Latino, and on YouTube, just research one word, Funny Latino, FUNNYLATINO, and funnylatino.com, coming July 1st.
There you go. All right. Well, once again, that's a show. Good night.
Piscataway!
That's all, folks.